Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over the pros and the cons of the Honda Pioneer 1000. As you can see, the Honda's pretty dirty, which means that we use this thing all the time. Now, one thing we use this for is we use it for herding cows, we use it for irrigating, we use it for pulling out pivots, we use it for spraying, we use it on the farm, just hauling stuff from here to there. We haul rock in the back, we haul wood chips, you name it, we do it with this. Another thing that I did this year with this, because I bought this over the winter, is pulled up fence posts with it. And let me tell you, this thing worked awesome because the bed on this buggy is big enough I could hold fence posts like this, and I could pile in the fence post. This thing's got a working tailgate. It drops down. It's got a hinge on each side. It's got a full-blown 2-inch receiver hitch, which is awesome because my old Razor 800 that I used to had like an inch one, and so you'd have to reduce it or increase it to the normal one, or just build a bunch of special hitches, and that's not a lot of fun. Where you can just put any pickup one right into this machine, and you can go and hook onto a pipe trailer and go haul pipe all by yourself, or if there's only two of you, hop in, drive a little bit, jump out, unload. So what are the pros and the cons of a Honda Pioneer 1000? Why did I buy it? Why would I get this over a Polaris or an Arctic Cat or a Can-Am or the John Deere? So why would I pick this machine over the other brands, you might ask? Well, I'm gonna tell you. So I had to lay down on a list, write down everything from pros to cons, and I compared, and then I figured out what I thought would be the better option. Now there's a lot of options out there, and there's a lot of things I like about the other ones that this one don't have, and vice versa. So I get this question pretty commonly, actually, not only just in the comment sections, but whenever I drive somewhere, people see me walking away from this, they ask me how I like it. And one of you guys down below said I should do a review on it, and you know what, I think that's a great idea because I do get a lot of questions on this. So with that being said, let's get into it. Kind of as I already mentioned, I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna list all the pros, the cons, and then I'm gonna compare. So here we go. So pro number one, the 2-inch receiver hitch. I really like that you can just take a pickup one, slap it in here, swap it out, do whatever you need to do. You got the full hitch. I think that's awesome design. You got a bed with the tailgate. That's awesome. This bed's big. I don't know how it compares to the Ranger on a Polaris. I want to say, or the Can-Am, I want to say they're all probably pretty close in size. Now, Honda has a lever, and if I pop that lever, that bed tilts up and it dumps it. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to clean all that back up. Another pro, this Honda is reliable. Honda has always been known for being reliable on almost all their stuff that they have, and that's a huge key factor for me. Not only do we have a really good Honda close by with parts, but being reliable means that this thing's going to last me a long time. And when you spend the kind of money that these side-by-sides cost, you want to get the most out of them that you can and the most bang for your buck. This Honda will do about 55, 60 mile an hour down the road, and 60 mile an hour is just about red line, so you really don't want to do that. They recommend staying between 50 and 55 at most, just to be easier on the motor. Another pro, half doors. Really simple half doors. I really like these. You pull the handle, the door flies out. I think that's pretty nice. They shut, they close, super easy. The Polaris Rangers have open, and that's cool, and I like that. But I also like when I'm driving down the road knowing that my feet aren't going to fly out, or if I turn a corner fast or something like that, I have the ability. This door here just kind of serves as an extra barrier. Now, if you don't want this door, like when we're doing fence posts in the winter, you know, I'm constantly in and out and I don't want to open and close the door all the time. Honda makes it really easy. You pull these 4 bolts out right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This door panel pops off. You can get in and out super easy. That's really nice. This thing is a very roomy 3-seater. Driver, passenger, dog, wife, third person, whatever you want. You can get 3 people in here really easy. That's another really nice feature. Now, now Honda does make aftermarket roofs, back windows, and windshields. They also make a plastic door that slips on top of here. So you can get a lot of add-on features on these, which would be a pro. And I'm going to come back to that in the con section as well. One of the biggest things that really sold me on this Honda, other than reliability and power, is the fact that it has a truly geared transmission. This thing is not belt driven at all. It is all gears, just like a car auto transmission. And to me, that's perfect. I used to have a Polaris RZR 800. Now it's more like a toy than one of these workhorses. But that belt would slip a lot and you couldn't get to it. And I also know people that have Rangers that put quite a few belts in over the lifetime of the machine. Now I'm sure you're going to go through transmission in here, a couple gears. I'm sure it's going to happen. This buggy has 6,000 miles on it already, about 6,200 actually. And as far as I know, that nothing's been done to it. I bought it about 6 months ago, so I bought it used. So that 6-speed, I believe it's a 6-speed transmission, maybe a 5. I should probably know that. But so this geared transmission on here works really well. Another cool feature is it's got high and it's got low. Now all the other buggies do have high and low. One thing that stands aside from this is it has auto, manual, and sport mode. So basically what that means is I can press that button to put it in sport mode, and that's basically like tow haul. So if I want to go and tear through the snow and play in the winter, or if I want to hammer down and chase coyotes through the snow drifts, or if I want to go out to the sand and play around, whatever the case is, you put that thing in sport mode and it just revs really, really high before it shifts, which is really nice because it gives you a lot more power and a lot more torque between gears instead of kind of lugging it. As in an auto transmission, it's just going to give you your best basically mileage, kind of like that. Now manual transmission, you might be wondering what that is, or maybe you've heard of it. This thing has paddle shift manual transmission. So I can press this button right here, which is manual, and I can paddle shift. Shift up, shift down. I can lock it in a gear. I can drive through all the gears and just shift if I want to shift. Now to me that's pretty cool. I mean, you can lock it in any gear you want. You can just play around and act like you're driving a fast car. Whatever the case is, you can do that. 4-wheel drive system. So what we got here is we got 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive with diff lock, and then we got turf. Now I've never had any experience with turf. I don't even know what it does, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe it makes it so it doesn't tear up the ground as bad, not as much torque. Maybe it's only 1-wheel drive. I don't know. I just mainly use 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. And I noticed when we pull out pivots, I will put it in that 4-wheel drive diff lock, and I can go through about anything I want to go through, which is awesome. Alright, so moving on. This thing also has a tilt steering wheel. That's another cool feature on this thing. So if you want to lower it or raise it, you can have the options to do either or. You got your lights, you got your cup holders, one over there for the passenger as well. You got your handlebars, you got full seat belts, got headrest. This one has a sliding back window. Everything on here is removable. We just don't remove it except for the door panels, and then we put those on in the winter. So everything. So that's basically all the pros for right now that I can think of. There's a lot of little things here and there, but that's pros. Now let's go over the cons in case you're wondering what I don't like about this. So First and foremost, the one thing that I cannot stand about this compared to a Polaris is their cab enclosures on these are horrible compared to the Polaris's. Polaris does one thing really good, and that is building a cab system on these. They can get completely airtight, they have solid doors, they just have a lot of options, and then the Hondas don't. The Honda really slacks when it comes to cab enclosures. Now this is about the most advanced system you can get for these, except for the doors. You can get a full-on door, but it's not that great. I'm kind of bummed about that, but I knew that when I bought it. My Honda guy told me, he said these are nothing like the Polaris's. So I respect that. I knew that when I bought it. It's not like it came to a shock to me. Con number 2, it's not the fastest. Now 55, 60 mile an hour tops, you're moving pretty good, but it'd be nice to be able to go faster just to run a lower RPM at that 55 mile an hour range. So that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, if you want to go faster than that, you might as well just drive a car, or a Jeep. They're expensive. When you compare this to like a Polaris, and I'm comparing Polaris a lot because that was my second option, was a Polaris Ranger, and so I really studied both of these. So that's why I'm comparing it, if you're curious. These things are pretty expensive compared to a Polaris Ranger, because you can get a decked out Polaris Ranger, and I think even the new Polaris Rangers have heat and AC in them. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I heard that. So I don't know if that's just a rumor, if that's true, but that'd be pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. But you can basically get one of them for the price of one of these, and these aren't near as decked out. So that's basically the cons that I have for this, which there aren't very many, to be honest with you. It's just a couple of the things that could be a big feature for you, or a big issue for you if you are looking to buy one. Expensive. The cab enclosures are not very good compared to the Polaris. Those are, and then the speed. Biggest pros though, geared transmission, reliability. So you kind of got to weigh your options. So now you might ask me, why did I buy this? Why did I buy a Honda Pioneer 1000 instead of some of the other options that I could have had more of a deluxe version? Well, I bought this. What took me over the edge on one of these is two things. Number one, the reliability and the geared transmission. That basically sold me on here, knowing I don't have to deal with belts anymore, and I love that idea. Number two, we have a really good Honda in our area that works on stuff. They have parts for stuff, and the Polaris, we kind of got to travel to get somewhere to a decent spot. That is why. So if you have a Honda or a Polaris in your town that are both good, that's going to be a harder decision for you to make. But that is why, another reason why I went with this. Well guys, I hope that I answered any of your questions that you might have on this. If I did not, ask it down in the comments. I'll be sure to reply back however I can help. If I don't know the answer, I will just tell you that I don't have an answer for that. But this is what I bought. This is why I bought it. Again, the reason I picked this over the Polaris is because of reliability, the geared transmission, and the local dealer. All in all, these side-by-sides, they come in handy. Now you might think they might be too big for something that you're used to using a four-wheeler on. That is not the case. I had a four-wheeler before this, and this thing will do everything that four-wheeler did plus more. So this is just way more convenient for what we use it for. We can drive down the roads, which you can on a four-wheeler too, but we can haul more stuff. We can haul bags of rock. We got a winch that hooks into the receiver hitch to pull pivots out. There's just a lot more options with these than there is on a four-wheeler, let alone in the winter you can kind of close everything up and keep that cold wind off of you. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you make a decision if you're looking or if you're just curious. That is my honest opinions. Now I gotta say right now, I am not dogging on any other company by any means, and I am also not sponsored or paid by Honda to do a review on this. This is just my honest opinion of this Honda. I'm trying to be honest with you guys. I feel like honest reviews are always better than paid reviews, obviously. So again, I am not being paid. This is just my honest view of this. I hope this helped you out or answered any questions you have. Again, comment down below if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them. And make sure and click up here and subscribe if you haven't already. And click over here if you guys want to be entered to win a hat. And we'll see you guys next time on JM Farm and Cattle. Thanks for watching.